what's going on, y'all? Welcome. Happy 4th of July. Because it'll probably be that when you see this video, most likely. And I'm a little late, but hey, better late than never. As you can see, I just uploaded the flash, so everything's coming a little late. Hectic weekend. But Money in the Bank was surprisingly good. It had some surprisingly great things. Like, I can't believe one of my picks, because this is the first time in a long time, like, I actually had a pick who was like the underdog, who you would thought that it wasn't really going to win the match, actually won the match. It actually became champion. But I'm going to get to what I mean. So, part of that, the reason why I bring it up, because that's part of it has to do with this first match. The first match of the night was the women's Money in the Bank. They started off with that, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and it was a great match. Everybody was good. The spots was good. I'm like, that is a sure, to make it. They have to make up for the fact that Roman Reigns in the main titles out there, and they do it perfectly. So far, these pay-per-views after WrestleMania that have not had Roman Reigns on it, they make up for the fact that you're not watching, that you basically going either paying for the pay-per-view, do Peacock or whatever, or actually buying tickets, but you're not seeing the main champion, defend his title, by having every other match basically have to be superb matches. They want you to get your money's worth by making every other match basically no less than good. They wanted to go from, it got to be either just the least it could be is good, and the rest has to be great to awesome. And trust me, there was a match that stole the show. And we haven't had one of those matches in a long time. One of the unexpected great match that stole the show. But this was a good match. This was a great match to start off. They had some great spots to Becky Lynch. Basically leg drop onto Asuka on the seated on the ladder. Raquel's dominance in the match. Pretty much everybody had a shine. I felt like only Alexa. I felt like Alexa didn't get much shine that she should have in this match, but she did. She shined a little bit, not as much as like Becky. Even Liv got a little bit more shine than Alexa. But I felt like everybody should have had their moment. But in the end, my pick. And I said this in one of my I said this either I didn't upload my SmackDown review, but I did record it. But I think I might have said it there, or the actual Raw review I uploaded, that I actually Liv Morgan was my pick. I was hoping she would win the ladder match, and she did. But apparently, when it comes to backstage, nobody knew who the winner was chosen until they said an hour or two before the show started. So Liv Morgan didn't even know she was winning until an hour or two, according to backstage reports. And I guess the report mainly was about how the show wasn't even decided on until the final outcome of the show wasn't decided on until an hour or two later, and basically that's when she was informed, hey, you're winning the Money in the Bank and doing something else. So yeah, Liv Morgan was the winner, and I love Becky Lynch, who basically just went crazy. And even if you go to YouTube or whatever, you can see fan recordings of her going crazy from their perspectives. And it was cool. The reason why I mention this because it wasn't until I saw one of the just the people in the crowd recordings that that when she was yelling and going crazy, because I was so ecstatic that Liv Morgan won. I did not see that she turns her head several times and actually starts complaining to the crowd, like she's talking to the people in the first couple of rows. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's what she was doing, like, because I only remember slightly that seeing her head turn towards them, but I was like, oh, I thought she was mainly like yelling at herself or to the ring. I didn't know she was talking to the people in the crowd too. Moving on. We got the next match, which was Austin Theory versus Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship, and that match went as I thought it would. Though I didn't think Austin Theory was going to get that much offense, but yeah, it went just as I thought. Because I'm like, you're not about to have Bobby Lashley lose to Austin Theory, because it will be so weird. Now, that's how I thought it was going to go. In actuality, I thought Austin Theory was going to win, like, by count out or disqualification. I didn't think they was actually going to have Bobby Lashley beat Austin Theory and become the new United States champion, but they did. The match was good though, and not a bad follow up to the first match. But yeah, Bobby Lashley won. He's your new United States champion, and I believe they said he's a 3-time United States champion. The next match we had was Carmella versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. The match, the thing is Carmella. Now the match was good. It was even, but it wasn't greater than that. It was like either okay or good, just because she had to work off of Carmella, and Carmella, the way how you build, you know, Bianca Belair, Carmella is not a person that you could believably see winning unless she had the Money in the Bank contract. Now, if she had the Money in the Bank contract, yeah, but I couldn't see her like straight up beating Bianca in a match. Because you haven't built up Carmella like that. Yes, Carmella is a former world champion, but you diminish her character so much since then that she's no longer believable. So this match would have benefited from, say, some believable wins and some build up to her being a legit threat. Granted, now we didn't know, you probably did, because I know they had it all planned for, you know, Rhea and Becky, but Rhea and Bianca, and, you know, unexpectedly she got injured. So, you know, it was last minute decisions. You know, you could understand that, but even with that understanding, it still hurt that you could not, you know, properly build her up. But Bianca Belair came out with the victory. Like I said, the match was okay to good. I found myself like just wanting it to be over because I knew Bianca was going to win. I knew she wasn't losing to Carmella. Had it been Rhea, I could see she might have lost to Rhea, but not to Carmella. But I was surprised. I like that little fake out they try to do with having Carmella attack Bianca. But once I saw how they had her attack, I was like, is they trying to? And then I was like, oh, okay, no, she didn't really do no damage to her. She just knocked her down and just beat on her a little bit. The next match we would get, which I'm going to say was the best. Man, it's a hard toss-up between this match and the first match. The match I am talking about is the Usos versus the Street Profits for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. And this match might have been the sleeper match. This might have been the match that stole the show. It's the match that stole the show. But it was awesome. This match at the least was great, and at the most awesome and perfect, because they stole the show. They stole the show. The match that follows it wasn't even as good only because the part that make it as good happened after the match ended. But this match, man, this was great. Near falls after near falls, moves after moves. It was like this match went on for so long, and it had so many near falls. I was like, holy crap! Like it did its job of making you, even though at first you came in like, okay, the Usos obviously is going to win. By the time this match ended, you didn't believe so anymore. You didn't believe it was just going to be straight up the Usos. You saw a possibility that the Usos could have lost to the Street Profits. And that's how great they build the match with their in-ring storytelling. With the match itself, they built up this belief that you could honestly, the Usos could have lost. And we could see a whole different dynamic going into SummerSlam with the Roman Reigns. But in the end, the Usos did win with hitting the 3D on Montez. But it was not without controversy, as Montez's right shoulder was off the mat. Therefore, if you're just new, you just seeing this video, you're new to wrestling, don't know about wrestling. When your right shoulder's up, it's supposed to stop the count. That's supposed to be considered a kick out. So if the referee count 1, 2, 3, the match should technically have not ended. Like technically, another referee should have came out and told that referee that this match is still continuing, because you did not see that Montez, or thanks to Jimmy, Montez had his right shoulder up. Therefore, it was considered a kick out. But I guess we'll see it unfold later on tonight on Monday Night Raw. But yeah, this match was a match that stole the show for sure. The next match will be Ronda Rousey versus Natalya for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This match was good. It wasn't the best it could have been, but it was good. You know, they tried to build it up as the tension between the two, and I get it because they were former friends turned enemies now. You know, I honestly rather would have saw Shayna versus Ronda, because that would have probably made for a better matchup, because this is they two, you know, they best friends and they both know how to fight. You know, they both on the same level, being former MMA fighters. So it's like that would have made for a great matchup. But I guess they saving it for down the line, because they did tease it, and usually when they tease something, they're usually going to end up doing it. But the match was good in itself. You know, they worked over a leg injury for Ronda. You know, Natalya caused her to have a leg injury. Then they worked over the sharpshooter and the arm bar. They had Ronda, you put the sharpshooter on Natalya. You know, I think they said it was. I think that was Bret Hart's birthday too. I remember they said when Natalya came out, that's why she had the sunglasses and stuff on, to honor Bret the Hitman Hart, because it was his birthday. But in the end, Ronda Rousey will win, retaining her championship. But obviously, her injury to her leg, she barely could stand in the ring. Which then Liv Morgan's music hit, and she came out. Now, like I said, the original match is over. Ronda retained. But then Liv Morgan came out and cashed in. Not like after she beat up Ronda and stuff. She literally just cashed in, allowed Ronda to get to her feet. They fought, and like Ronda put Liv in the ankle lock, but she hit the injured leg. She used the injured leg to her advantage to get out of the ankle lock, and would pin Ronda 1, 2, 3 to become the new SmackDown Women's Champion. So I'm guessing now Liv Morgan will be moved to the SmackDown roster, like how Big E was the SmackDown superstar, but when he beat Bobby Lashley, he became a Raw superstar. And yes, they still are doing the brand split in that sense. Even though thanks to the unification of the titles, the main titles and the tag titles, the women's titles are still considered separate branded titles. So yes, Liv Morgan will now be a SmackDown superstar. And I also like that she's the first and currently right now the only member of the Riot Squad that's finally became a world champion. And you would think it would have been either Sarah Logan or Ruby Riott who would have became that, but it's actually who would have thought it would have been Liv Morgan to be the first of that group to become world champion. The main event, here we are. Main event, which was the man's Money in the Bank match. Now here's the caveat. After everybody made their entrance, you know, you got Seth Rollins, Riddle, Omos, Riddick Moss, Sami Zayn, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre. Everybody made their entrance, right? Everybody made their entrance. Match get ready to start. All of a sudden, Adam Pearce comes out. And he tells everybody, hey, we're up. And it's usually 7 members, but we're going to up it to 8. And we're adding Austin Theory. Wow, I didn't see that one coming. No, I did. I totally saw that coming. Once Austin Theory lost his United States Championship, I knew it was going to be some bogus story about how basically is Vince McMahon putting him in the match, giving him an opportunity. And then the match itself was good. It was good. But then you actually ended it with Austin Theory becoming the Mr. Money in the Bank. It would have been, I didn't care if he was in the match as long as he didn't win. But now that you put him in the match and he was the one to win. That was so, like, it was so in your face that he was going to win then because you put him in the match and he was the one who won. Out of everybody in that match who needed to win. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's a new character. I wanted Riddle to win, but I guess I couldn't get everything I wanted because I got Liv Morgan. But I really wish Riddle would have won. But, like, okay. That made the whole match, the match itself was okay. No, it was good. I want to say it's okay. It was good. But I did not like the addition of Austin Theory and the fact that he won. But hey, that's it for that. That's it for that. I give Money in the Bank 2022 a 9 out of 10 because it was that match. The Uso match made this pay-per-view even more perfect. The first match, the women's Money in the Bank, made this more good. So yeah, it got a 9 out of 10 for me. I just didn't enjoy the Carmella and Bianca match or the fact that Austin Theory won Money in the Bank. But you let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, I said 9 out of 10. Big ups, right? Yeah. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this Money in the Bank, and if you enjoyed this review, hit this button right there, the upper right corner for all of my WWE reviews. And if you enjoyed this review so much you want to support the channel, all you gotta do is hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, hit that thanks button, and hit that join button. You want to see me react to your favorite TV shows. And as always, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content. Man, I got to get 2 titles. I'm the Tribal Teeth, and I only got 1 title. I'm supposed to have 2. But peace out.